Today's May 22nd. It's a Monday, and I'm catching John before he's running out to the airport.
Yeah, the Investoot podcast with a little X-Files. Why not?
Well, yeah, because you've got a conspiracy theory that you're floating.
Yeah. How about this one, folks? Wherever you were Thursday last week, in several major cities, there were horrible traffic patterns that you see on a Friday or on a holiday weekend, but not necessarily on a Thursday with nothing going on. And I mean Chicago, on a route that normally takes me 10 minutes to drive, it was 50 minutes Friday. And every street, it wasn't just one direction, it was every street. I know every side street to get out of it and everything else. Didn't help. People were all over them. Same thing in New York. Same thing on the Skyway, which is a tollway here between Chicago and Indiana. They actually have, like most tollways, automated tolling readers. They were all out on Thursday.
Your conspiracy theory. Do we have tinfoil here? I'm going to put a hat on you. So
put on my tinfoil hat.
So you're saying that maybe they hacked the grid and it's a test.
Somebody, I think, could have hacked a grid or the grid for a lot of traffic signals in some part of the country. And because signals were not going on as long as they normally would, so cars were not clearing the intersections.
Oh, really?
And like entrance and exit ramps off the highway.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the lights...
They weren't synced up like they usually are.
Oh, I could have gotten a video of that.
Yeah.
That would have been...
It was terrible. And I heard similar things from several major cities. And what are the odds that on a Thursday at 4:30, because that's when I was heading home, that you would see that kind of gridlock?
Okay.
So anyway, just to, we love the tinfoil hat stuff, so we thought we'd throw out a conspiracy theory.
We're open for any of that here on the podcast. So if you want to leave your comments on that.
X-Files, we'll get David Duchovny on next week.
Okay.
To talk about some more conspiracy theories.
I got something I wanted to add to our podcast we did the other day. Remember I told you about Chelsea Manning?
Yep.
Somebody put out a poll saying that only 20% of surveyed people would date a transgendered person. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Don't know where to go with that.
I know where to go with that.
I know I probably wouldn't be... Got no hate for him, but probably would not.
Okay.
If I knew going into a relationship.
Yeah.
So since I'm married, I really don't go into relationships outside of that one. But if I were single again and looking, and I knew ahead of time somebody was transgender, I think I'd take a pass.
Okay.
No hate.
But they said date.
Not interested.
They said date. So there's.
I don't think I'd be interested in dating either.
All right.
How about you? Let me put it back to you.
Well, let's just put it this way. I've never dated or had relations with a transgendered folk, but in my travels, as you know, I travel quite a bit.
To Thailand included in that. And there's a lot of transgender.
They call them gatoy down in Thailand. And I remember seeing this one walking down the street, and it said, in training. And I tell you what, John, she had a shirt.
Yep.
It was a dude. Looked like a girl.
I'm sure.
But I'm telling you, the guys, whatever they call them, the toys, look just like, they look better than some girls.
Well.
And there's guys.
That's the dangerous part.
There's German folk that go down there, these dudes.
Sugar Plum Fairy came and hit the street.
Yeah, they go down to Thailand. That's their spice that they get when they're there. Not me, but somebody put this out on a poll saying only 20%. And, of course, it went like, what happened to the other 30 that are supposed to be progressive? Anyway, moving on.
Well, just because you're not a hater or anything doesn't mean you'd want to date somebody who is transgender.
So, and date's the key word.
Yeah.
Anyway. So moving on. What are we doing today? I know you're running out the door.
I'm doing a lot of MGM.
Yeah, I saw that. Some calls.
Call stupid, right?
Yeah.
Call stupid, folks, is as opposed to a call spread. A call spread would be you buy one strike, usually close to the money, and you sell a higher strike. So if we were saying that in the case of MGM, it's roughly $31, I think, or something
Okay.
like that, that you might buy the 32 calls and sell the 35s. That would be an example of a call vertical spread, 1-to-1. For every one you buy at 32, you sell one at 35.
Now, is it unusual if this was a 35-36, but a 35-36 call spread doesn't make any sense?
No, because it's a $1 call spread.
So you do it a little bit, but in this case, it was 35 and 36s.
They bought both.
They bought
So
both.
that's why they call it a call stupid, because you're not cutting the cost. When you do a call spread or a call vertical, you're cutting your cost, your net out of pocket, because you're buying a 32 call. Let's say you paid $1.50, and you're selling the 35. Let's say you sold it for 40 cents. So your net is the difference between the $1.50 you paid and the 40 cents. It's $1.10. So instead of paying $1.50, you've paid $1.10 for this, and you own the stock between 32 and 35. Gets called away if it's higher than 35.
And just so that there's no haters, the parlance in the option world is stupid.
Yeah, it's called a call stupid.
We're not calling anybody stupid.
What I just described was not a call stupid. That's call vertical. A call stupid is you buy one strike and the strike above
It's
it.
what they did in MGM.
And they did that. They bought the 35s and they bought the 36s.
So why would
Hence
they-
the call stupid.
Why?
Somebody just wants a heck of a lot of calls out in September, was it?
Yeah, September.
I think it was September. So that's interesting. So I did a little of that today.
The summer of the MGM.
I took a lot of FNSR off. That's one of these rare times. See, because I travel so much and put positions on, sometimes I get caught long into a weekend because one of my calls finishes in the money. The call that I was short against it doesn't finish in the money at the last minute. It dives under the strike price. And so now I'm naked long coming into the weekend. Oh, great. And invariably it opens down.
That's another kind of call stupid.
Yeah, that's John stupid.
They call you. They call you, and then you feel stupid.
Yep. And they say, John, why did you just buy $600,000 worth of this stock? And I say,
Don't you feel stupid? We just called you.
Yeah.
Just called you.
So luckily this stock opened up $2 today. Or at least it ran $2. By the time I sold it, it was up more than $2. Sold it, FNSR. We had it for unusual activity on May 5th. And here it is into expiration. I didn't get called out on my short calls in FNSR, but my long calls became stock because that's what happens if they're in the money. And next thing I know, Andrew, it's $2 higher. That's a good problem, a lucky one.
We call these happy problems. All right, well, I know you got to run to the airport. So
Going out to San Francisco to Apex, big conference in San Francisco.
you
this
like
weekend.
You're from San
Oh,
Fran.
love it. I wish I was going to spend more
All
time.
right.
I will be there just over 24 hours.
So where are you going to eat?
We're going to go to WaterBar, one of my favorite restaurants in San Francisco.
Nice.
So if you're around and you heard the podcast and you're in WaterBar tonight, stop by, say hi.
Tonight.
I'm going to be there tonight at 6:30.
So what do they got that you like? What are you going to do?
It's at the base of the Bay Bridge. Epic Steak
Steaks.
and that one. Epic Steak is on one side, WaterBar is on the other. They're both owned, I believe, by the same
Did we go
group.
to WaterBar when we were out there last time?
We might have. I can't
It's
remember.
right there. You could see the bridge.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the bridge from
Gorgeous
Sandy Bar.
view.
All right. Well, maybe it was.
So be out there with Joe Terronova at the
Really? Terrenova's going to be?
High Tower Investment Conference. They call it Apex. So I'll be out there talking about our mutual fund that we're launching, along with some other cool stuff.
Well, tell Joe I said hi.
I will.
He's buy high, sell higher.
Buy high, sell higher.
We should get him
That
on.
was his book.
Remember he said this is a...
He was going to pay you to help market that book. They
Well,
should
yeah,
have.
They did.
They should have.
They gave us a bunch of books. But the thing is, remember he said this is a lifetime, or what is it, an Apple? What do you call that? Remember he said it was a generational buy.
Yeah.
And this is before the split, and everybody gave him crap about it.
Yeah. He ended up being right.
I'm telling you, I bought it before he even mentioned that. Just disclaimer. Just
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, I didn't know, but he took crap for it, and I'm like, maybe it's too early to tell. And he was right, and you tell him that.
I will. I'll tell him that tomorrow.
You tell Joe.
He and I will be on stage tomorrow together, and I'll tell him.
Hopefully, he'll listen to this podcast. I'm gonna tag him.
Well, yeah, we'll tag him. It's at Terronova Joe, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us. Remember, you can subscribe which we encourage you to do on YouTube. You can also set up the podcast to regularly download to your listening device, iPad, iPhone, whatever, at itunes.com. And thank you for joining. Tell a friend about the podcast.